Good evening. It's March 5th, Tuesday, 2019. Finally got some free time to myself to come down here and do a little bit of going over some of the cars that I've done over the past year in Matchbox. On my last video, I was working on the assembly video. I was working on the Matchbox Leslie number 27 Mercedes 230 SL. And I had some window issues with it, and I didn't realize that from regular wheels to super fast, they had added 2 extra posts underneath the hood, and I had to do a little bit of drilling into the new plastic windshield and a little bit of filing and to make it fit right. But after a little bit of work, here it is. Let's see here. There we go. And it fell right off. How you like that? I guess that's why they call it super fast. And like I say, here it is all in its restored glory with a piece of hair on it. Looks like I'm going to have to do something there to keep the cars from flying off. And it turned out real good with the paint and everything. I didn't have any really decent super fast wheels, so I had to repaint the original super fast wheels. And yes, I left the hitch on since this is a restoration. I have the regular wheel one, so I wanted a original restored one to go with that. So there you have it. There's the first one. Okay, my next one, I guess you would say it's a custom. It is the number 67 Volkswagen 1600. Now this one here, I was doing a lot of experimentation with the Tamiya paints, whatever you want, potato. But like I say, I could have probably did it in regular red, but what I did was I shot some of the Tamiya clears, and what I used for a base was the Tamiya gold. So it had a gold base with a candy, like old school 70s taught candy, clear Tamiya red over top of it. And it kind of gave it this really cool orangish red. It's a really neat color and it really pops. And since it was a custom, I went ahead and did all the chrome work bright work on the tail end of it. And like I say, I think it looks pretty darn good. Next one I get, I'll probably just do all red, just regular red, and match it up and do the whole 9 yards. Next one is my number 75 Ferrari Berlinetta. Now originally it came looking like this, and this one I'm going to do original. But since we're on the kick of doing custom colors, who can't have a Ferrari that's not red? So this one is actually the same Tamiya candy red or clear red with a silver base. I just used the Tamiya silver and then shot the red over it. And as you can see, compared to this color, it's a little bit darker, a little bit deeper. But at the same time, it's a really neat color. I guess with the lighting, it looks maybe a touch orange, but it's really a bright red, and it's a beautiful car. My next ones are a pair. See if I can get them both up here. I know these don't roll anywhere. These are the older ones. I did this one first, and I did this one second. If you look on my early videos of my before and afters, this one here was painted black, and it was smashed and it was bent in the middle, and I did a whole bunch of straightening on it before I painted it. Now that's just standard Tamiya yellow, and I didn't do any mixing. As straight out the bottle, and it looked a little bit too yellow, so I went back and I had this other one and I did that one, and that one was pretty much a straight up restoration as well. It was but I used Mr. Hobby. I don't remember what color yellow it was. It was like a yellowish color, but I see I got a chip on the fender on that one already. Oh well. But like I say, it was pretty much a straight up color right out the bottle. It was a little bit darker. It's more of a construction yellow. So there's my pair of Thames compressor trucks with the one with the fresh chip on it, which I don't know where it came from. Now this has been a favorite of mine for years, and I finally got one and I did it, and this is one of the first ones that I did, and I actually had to repaint it because I painted, as you know, this is the number 22 Pontiac Grand Prix. I'm a big Pontiac fanatic. I've owned many Trans Ams over the year, currently own a GTO. But this has always been a favorite of mine since I was a kid, and you can never, I used to try to find really nice original sample examples, but back in the 90s, these things were bringing big bucks. The market's kind of dropped off on them a little bit. But this was a beater, and like I said, this was a learning experience for me because I must have got the primer. I used the Tamiya light primer, white primer, just like everybody does. But I painted, since if you ever had one of these apart, they don't have that spring in them and to hold the doors, and it's basically held by the plastic in the top of the body. I painted them separately, and I must have got the primer a little bit darker, or the coats of paint a little bit darker on the doors than I did the car. So when I put it together, it looks like I had two different shades of red on the car. So I took it back apart and stripped it and redid it, and then I cleared this one. I actually put some clear Tamiya X22 clear on top of this one, so it turned out real nice, and it's a really beautiful car. So there's the Pontiac Grand Prix. And for the next one, this is an original one. This is the Ford Mustang number 8. This is one of my original ones. As you can see, I think somebody must have pulled the back tires off of this one and put them back on and didn't realize what they were doing and put one of them on backwards. But anyways, this will probably be a future project of mine. I already have one, as you'll see here in a minute, that's been restored. And like I say, this is just one of my original ones that I haven't decided what to do with yet. And here is my restored Ford Mustang. I just did it straight up restoration on it. Tried to keep it as original. It looks like my trailer hitch is bent. Let's see if that's one I had. I might have to do a little bit of work on that one. But it turned out real nice, and I had 3 of these. So what I did was, I couldn't figure out what to do with the other one, but I wanted to do it justice, and so I tried to match up the secondary color for the orangish red one, and I did one of those. I think a Time Rider did one, and I thought it was really cool. So I mean, it's kind of a copy, but like I say, I wanted one for my collection too, so there it is. So it turned out real nice. Next one I have is another super fast, and hopefully it won't roll off of there. Shit. Let's try that. But that is number 5 Lotus Europa, and a lot of these you'll see on my before and after videos. I had before pictures and after pictures. It's more of a slideshow collage than when I first started making these videos that are on the channel, that I wanted to present my work, and that's how I did it. But this was one of them that I did. This is actually the Tamiya clear blue over a silver base, and it turned out really good. Next one I have here is straight up restoration, which is the number 41 Ford GT. And like I say, I had to get some rubber O-rings for the tires on this one. I think it was Bare Metal that did that. That showed how you could do the O-rings for tires. So that's what I did on this one, since I didn't have a set of tires for that at the time. So there we have the number 41 Ford GT. And this one is my number 42 Studebaker Lark Wagon. It's not quite the right color. It was a Tamiya, straight out, a light blue, straight out the bottle. I thought it looked pretty decent, so I just shot it that color. Pretty straight up on that one. It turned out nice. Word to the wise on this one. You can see, do not leave your bases in the lime away and forget about them, because this is what happens. It just etches everything into them, so it kind of screwed that up, but I was able to get the front looking pretty decent on it, sanding it down and making it look good. But like I say, it is what it is. I forgot it, left it in there overnight, and I come down there and I was like, holy crap. But lesson learned. The next one, this is my stock one. It is one of my favorite ones. It's a number 33 Lamborghini Miura. I had this bone stock one. This is all original. I never repainted this one. And I was at an antique store earlier, about 2 years ago, and I found another one, but it was a little bit beat up, so I figured I'd get it anyways because I like the casting. And this is what I did with that one. And this one's really cool looking. This is one of my favorite ones I did. That is the Tamiya silver with the Tamiya clear orange over top of it. And I put all the black accents on it. This is really a cool car. I probably could have gone an extra step and put some modern wheels on it or something, but I'm kind of digging it the way it looks right now. So, but yeah, that's my two Lamborghinis one that I did and one that I didn't. Now this is the first Matchbox restoration that I did. I picked that one up, and if you look on my first video, you'll see that somebody had painted this one with, like, I guess, fingernail polish. You'll see the before picture. It was, and this was my first one I did. It is number 32, the E-Type Jaguar. Just a beautiful car, and this is just basically a straight up restoration. I put over, no, that's got the original wheels on it. But what's neat about these, because I've always been fascinated with the 70s bright colors and stuff, these cars looked like they had some kind of bronze, copper, or gold base over a candy color, or over a clear color like what I've been shooting. When I restored, if you ever take one apart or look at some of the other channels, I think Marty did one and Time Rider did one. And then before they strip them, if you look at the underside, just like mine was, you would see that there was like a gold or a copper base color where they didn't get the whole color on top of it. So it was like basically what I was doing to restore this one. Now this one I actually used the Redline Shop Spectre Flame Red over some gold. I think I got this gold. It was something I was painting some of the 250R race rims on my racing three-wheeler gold, and it was just a good color, so I shot that out of a can. Then I shot the car with the Redline Shop Spectre Flame Red. So that one really looks good. So I just try to stick with what I know. Like I say, I know a couple guys are experiment with some new different paints, but looks like there's a whole bunch of different processes, and I like to keep things simple. So I like the Redline Shop stuff, and I like the Tamiya stuff, and I like the Mr. Hobby, so that's what I stick with. So my next one is the Jeep Gladiator. That's your bright red straight out the box. I like the bright red. It looks cool. I didn't do any mixing on that one. That's number 71, and that was one of the ones that I did. Like I say, I thought it was a really cool casting, and you can find a lot of those. Like I say, it turned out real nice. So next ones I have is, this is my original Mercury Cougar in that cool 70s pale yellow, or pale green metallic that everything was. and it's all original. It's I never repainted it, and since I had 2 of them, I picked up one. You'll see in the video, my first video, I painted it. It was all, somebody painted the whole damn thing black, and then I had to get a windshield for it. And like I say, I redid it as a custom, and I did it in the silver base with the Tamiya silver base with the clear green, and I wasn't quite happy with it, so I stripped it back down and I did it with the clear yellow and over a silver base, and that one really grabbed me. I like that one a lot better. It's got that cool late 60s, early 70s color to it. I think it does it justice, and like I say, this one, a lot of these I've been shooting the X22 clear over top of it, and it turns out real nice. So that is some of my restorations of the past I guess couple months, because I just started doing these enamels in my basement because I can shoot the acrylics and the enamels in the basement, and the urethanes from the Hot Wheels Spectre Flames I have to shoot up in my shop usually, unless my wife's not home. But she was off the other weekend, or away the other week, and I shot a couple down here, as you saw in my videos. But I'll have to start going up to my motorcycle shop to shoot those. But like I say, I have one more, and this was a cool one. This is my number 72 Jeep. I guess you would call it like a CJ that rolls off the damn thing again. So there that is. Let's see if it'll stay there. But like I say, if anybody has any tips to put, I just put tape on there, how to keep these darn cars to rolling off this little carousel of progress, as I like to call it. Put them in the comments down at the bottom. But this one was a straight up restoration. I used O-rings for wheels on this one. Turned out real nice. I had an original one, but this one needed a little bit of love, and nobody had snapped the windshield off of it, so I did a full resto on it. It turned out real nice. And that is just the Tamiya regular yellow straight out the bottle. So there is some of my restorations I've done so far, a little bit more in depth. And like I say, if anybody has any requests, I have another Berlinetta, which I'm going to do original. I have the Ice Cream Man truck that I want to do a restoration on, but he's missing the ice cream, so I'll have to figure out how to make that. I don't have a 3D printer, so I can make something out of styrene. I'll have to do it. I'm old school, so that'll have to do for that. I've got the cleansing service truck. I have. This one's for you, Bobby. I know you're watching. We're going to do this one probably here real shortly. And the guy from Diecast Show Customs gave me the idea for this, and I've been wanting to do one of these. And so they make a Herbie Love Bug decal or water slide decal kit for this. So this will be a straight up white with the Herbie decals. So I'm going to do that one. And I got this cool Scammell snowplow truck, which kind of close to my heart, really, or a thorn in my side, since I do plow snow for the county here locally, and that's what I didn't have. I had no weekend this weekend, so it's a lot of time behind the wheel and a lot of time sleeping in a truck. So this is one that I want to do in the future. I'll do a straight up resto on it. And we have this old Lincoln that I want to do something with. I'll probably just do a regular restoration on it. And we have the Ford Zodiac number 33. That's an old gray wheel that I picked up. And it's not, but somebody painted the roof on it, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and do a straight up resto on that. We have the Vauxhall Victor estate car, number 38. And it's all there, but it needs, we'll do a straight up on that one too, since I only have one. And I have two of these. I got the one without the wheel first, Ferrari F1s I think they're called, and I got the other one off eBay since it was cheaper just to buy that whole damn thing than try to find a reproduction wheel, which I can't find. So it seems like everything's overseas for these, and it takes forever to get. That's good stuff you get for replacement parts, but if anybody has any tips on where to get stuff in the United States quicker, let me know. So we got those, and we got some cool military series. This is the Saladin armored car, number 67, and it's somebody broke the gun off the front, so we'll fix that one and paint it. I like doing these. I have a couple that I have stripped down right now. This is my Ferret Scout car, number 61, and he's still got the guy in there. So we're going to redo it. We're going to do that one up. And if you look over here, I have a whole bunch of them. I have the half track. I have the Chieftain tank that goes on my flatbed, and some kind of tow truck. I don't know the number, but they're all waiting to be painted. And I have a Land Rover that I'm going to do a custom on. So if you see anything that I've talked about in my restorations that you would like to see, I don't have many people subscribe. Tell your friends if you see this, and I'll keep doing more and more. So, well, like I say, put in the comments if you see anything you want me to restore first. Thank you, and have a good evening, and stay tuned for more videos.